What's up guys, Chartsmith here, back again with a new video. I know it has been a while. We did a quick little live stream yesterday, so for all the people that were at the live stream yesterday, thank you for being there. But right now we have to get back into making videos again, because it just has been too long ago. I think the last time I uploaded a video we were somewhere around this price range, or maybe even before the pump up. I don't really remember, but since then a couple of interesting things have happened. I pointed out a couple of things a few times in the videos before, and that was this low, because this was your last extreme liquidity point before you're going towards your daily structure low. So that was a point for me to look for the continuation of your daily structure with a higher low and a new higher high. As we can see, after we took out this extreme liquidity point, we started moving up, creating higher lows and higher highs. But just before we were gonna start taking out all the strength liquidity we left behind, we tapped into our last supply / resistance before this trend liquidity, made equals with the first liquidity point, and from there just a quick dump down indicating, okay, we are not ready yet to take out all this trend liquidity on the left. We need more from the lows. I also talked about, let me quickly hide the drawings, this swing high on your weekly for a couple of times, and these equal lows being collected here to maybe take out as a result of this swing high. That was also a place I was looking at when we failed to start taking all the strength liquidity to the left. I thought, okay, maybe we're gonna need to take out all these equals. Of course it is your daily structure, but if it's a quick sweep and a pump up again, it doesn't really matter, and we can hunt these lows. So that was what I'm looking at. And of course, still this low. What happened? We swept this low of this whole up move, made an SMT, still protected our daily low, and from there just got a pump up. So on the higher time frame it is still up until proven otherwise. And if we're gonna zoom in a bit, last Friday we had NFP resulting in a pump up, starting to take out liquidity from this liquidity trail to the left. But after taking this first liquidity point, as you can see, it already was here as well. The S&P 500 already made new all-time highs over here and once again over here. So there still was a big SMT on the highs, and as a result of the profit taking that happened at this liquidity point, and of course the sell-off that was the result of that, because as you can see it was a quick sell-off by New York, we started taking more liquidity from the lows again. So with this quick dump down, we collected all the liquidity that was still left behind over here. For some people the market maybe stopped here at a random price level, because if you only look at liquidity, what would be a logical point? Of course it would be this low, because this is a clear liquidity point. But the market already collected enough liquidity from this whole up move, and as you can see from the arrow, you can also draw it into all the way over here. But as you can see, if you look to the arrow, also is a box, of course, it is just a big support and resistance point where the market can bounce from. If we zoom in a bit, you can also see that it is the last place where sellers tried to push price down, but the buyers took over and we started creating new highs. So this is also your first support zone from this up move. As you can see, we got a quick tap in it, and from there we started buy modeling again. So on the local picture it is also up until proven otherwise. Knowing that, let's zoom in, because we want to look for longs. We don't want to trade against the bias. The technical target of this buy model will be this high. So let's map that out. This will be your first target for the buy model. Of course, the price can also start taking this and maybe even make new all-time highs again. Last Friday we started this buy model. Also in the live stream of yesterday I said it is a high probability that when Asia opens it's gonna continue this move and we can expect more upside. Well, what happened? Asia opened, well before Asia even, but market opened this night. We started going up because we are up this far already and we came into this zone to the left over here. Asia started a slow grind down, collecting more liquidity from the lows and building up more liquidity on the highs. We started making a new higher high. We put in a higher low and continued our trend towards the upside. In this trend, there was a trade to be taken. Let me quickly zoom in on it because it is an interesting one. As you can see, when we put in that higher high and a new higher low, we created a new higher high. When we did this, we started consolidating a bit. And when we are consolidating, I have to be really alert on the market because most of the times in consolidations like this, you're gonna get a trade entry. We got this pump up, we put in a higher low and a new higher high. So of course, after a big pump up of like this, you're gonna get a lot of emotion in the market, a lot of people already starting to FOMO this, but there are even more people that are gonna start FOMO buying into this when we put in this new higher high. Because what do you expect after a higher high? A higher low, and once again, a new higher high. But this is of course what all the big money slash market makers want you to think, because then they can fill up your orders, their orders with your stop loss that is placed right below this low. So right here we got in a lot of buyers, and as you can see, the low where the stop losses will be from those buyers gets taken out and we get a reaction up from there. What do I want to see right now? There is not really a way to enter the market right here with a breaker block or a fair value gap, so I will have to be patient. I want to see this low get respected, because if the smart money is in this, got in this low right here, they want to protect their positions and price is not gonna come below here. What do we see? A reaction up, of course. I'm not the only one who sees this hunt, so people are gonna start buying again, but we are still not taking out this high. What does this mean? The market is not ready and needs more liquidity from the low. Well, as you can see, right here we started making higher lows and higher highs, so there's just a lot of stop loss orders collected below these lows. We take out a low with a nice market structure pool, take out the low, we have a structure pool, and we have this fair value gap. And the last thing I want to see for my trigger to take this trade is this fair value gap being used, showing we want to make new lows. Right here you can see we fail to make a new low, we inverse the fair value gap, gain our structure high, then it's just a no-brainer to put in your entry right here. Stop loss below the low, and you can target. I only need 3 risk to reward because that is part of my risk management. The 3 risk to reward also comes in nice correlation with this supply, so I will put my take profit right here because this is enough for me. But of course you could target these equal highs over here, resulting in a quick little 4.3 risk to reward trade. It is also no coincidence the big pump up comes after this manipulation move and this manipulation move. That is just how powerful our strategy is. Then the last thing I want to look at is of course what we want to see for a local trade scenario to look for longs. Right now I would say it is pretty difficult because after this big pump up there was a lot of profit taking, resulting price cooling down a bit. From there we put in a higher low and a new higher high. Once again people are gonna expect a new higher low and a new higher high. But what happens? Manipulation, taking out all your extreme liquidity of this whole up move that we put in during London. So we took out every bit of liquidity that was built up in London. From there, positions have been filled. We got a pennant towards the upside, waiting for it to break out. For me to take a trade here, there would have been needed to happening something like this. Take the lows of the pennant and from there give an entry somewhere in this move towards these lows with a structure pool, for example. Do something like this, but that didn't happen. We just broke out of the pennant towards the upside and creating new highs again. So right now, local price action will have to form right here for me. And then I want to see some consolidation like this with pretty much the same triggers that we got here to enter a trade. So that is the plan for right now. Wait for more price action to form to trade towards all the highs to the left. First this one, and then of course we're gonna try to trade towards here. We are probably gonna get some trades during the New York session, or maybe just before the New York session, because then the real volatility is gonna come into the markets. That will be it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something from it. If you did, leave behind a like, subscribe to the channel to be updated on future videos. And I want to say one thing: if you want to keep updated in real time, talk with like-minded traders, really connect with me and my trading partner who is also really good at this game, you will have to join our Discord. It is a completely free community. You can join it, no strings attached, and I would love to see you there. And then I will see you in the next video. Ciao!